Hey guys, this is Ultima from S3R Gamers and welcome back to Pokemon 101. And today, at the request of one of my good friends, Careless Rex, I am doing Sandslash. Now you may ask, Ultima, if you're doing Sandslash, why do we see Probopass right now? Well, the first and I think most useful set for a Sandslash is on a Sandstorm team. Now, in Smogon rules, you can't use Sand Veil because evasion is banned. So you have to use Sand Rush. Now, playing VGC rules or Battle Spot, honestly, this is still probably the set you're going to want to run. But the reason I give Probopass is because I feel like he's a really good example of someone that can help Sandslash sort of set up. Because basically what you need to do is you need to get Sandstorm set. So one example here for Probopass is he's good because one, he could Thunder Wave and he can Volt Switch as well as Sandstorm. So you give him a Smooth Rock, have him Thunder Wave. Now, he has Sturdy, so he should survive no matter who's out there. And now, it may seem weird to invest so much in Probopass's speed because he's so slow, but investing this much into speed means since Thunder Wave will half any Pokemon's speed, the only Pokemon that will be able to outspeed him if he only has 1 HP left will be Pokemon who have 394 speed or higher. Or if they have a priority move, then you also need to watch out for that. So always keep that in mind. If it's someone who has a priority move, you might just want to lead with Sandstorm. But I feel like Thunder Waving, one, it'll help you switch in to Sandslash. So go ahead and Thunder Wave or Sandstorm, depending on the situation. Now, if you Thunder Wave it on the first turn, Sandstorm again. If you got lucky and they paralyzed, now's your perfect chance to just Volt Switch right into Sandslash. And so after you got this set up, here's the Sandslash set. Now, again, let's keep this in mind. As nice as Sandslash is, and I'm sorry, Rex, I will admit, there's, as much as there are different uses for him, like any Pokemon, it's going to be hard. And there's a reason why he's on such a low tier. But I actually think that this can make him pretty viable. So now he's switched into Sandstorm. Give him a Focus Sash because he still has very weak special defense. And so if you're switching in on a special attacker, you could be very vulnerable to a one-shot. Now he's switched in. You look at his IVs. I mean his EVs and his sets. You're gonna go full speed, but make him adamant because his ability Sand Rush doubles his speed in Sandstorm. And we had a Smooth Rock on like Probopass or whoever you decide to set up with. And so this should still be going for about, 6 or 7 turns by the time you get him in. So he's going to be rocking, as you can see, he's up to 229 speed, which is fairly slow. But thanks to Sand Rush, his speed will actually be 458, which is pretty much unbeatable except by very high-speeded Scarfed Pokemon. Or Pokemon who have Dragon Danced once or twice. Or Agility. So you're probably not going to be in that situation. Now, what you're going to do is set up Swords Dance because although he does have a high attack, again, he's not going to take a lot of damage. You're going to want to run through and do as much damage as possible. So get the 1-turn Swords Dance set up, maybe 2 if you're feeling lucky or if things are going your way. And then you give him Earthquake for a massive 150 damage thanks to his stab. Poison Jab, it covers grass Pokemon. It's also a good counter for fairies. And then you use X Scissor That's more for coverage on dark and psychic types that you might run into. So that to me, that's probably the best setup for a Sandslash. Although I could be wrong, because I mean, I guess technically, you know, some of these actually might work better, but let's move on to the next one. Now, this one I think actually could have some good use just because it gives him a lot of bulk. So you're going to want to throw an Assault Vest on him. And so this one's going all out attack. So again, make him adamant. You're going to want to invest fully in attack and a decent amount in HP. I invested the amount I did in special defense because I was essentially just trying to get his special defense to essentially match his physical bulk. So I figured that would be the best option. So now that we got his special defense and regular defense about the same, put the rest into HP, and then again fully invest in attack. Now give him knockoff for dark and ghost coverage, as well as just being able to knock off other Pokemon's moves. Also give him Crush Claw. Now Crush Claw is really great because now you're not having the Swords Dance boost like you did on the other one, but Crush Claw has a 50% chance to lower your opponent's defense, and it does a decent amount of damage. Next up, Poison Jab, again for grass types and fairy types who might come in against you. And then, of course, you have to give him Earthquake, because what's a ground Pokemon without Earthquake? And again, in this set, you have to give him Sand Rush. So on a Sandstorm team, this could also be very useful. And he could be not only bulky, but fairly fast at 332 speed. And that's with 0 investment. Run him in a Trick Room team. Now, again, he has very low speed. Granted, he has Sand Rush, but if you're not running Sandstorm on your team, there's only so much of a chance that you're going to run into a situation where the other people are running Sandstorm, because you'd have to be running him in OU or UU to run into a Pokemon that has Sandstream, like Hippowdon or Tyranitar. And even if you are running him in one of those tiers, which is a little high for him in my opinion, you're still probably gonna be okay, because there's tons of Pokemon to pick, and Tyranitar and Hippowdon aren't necessarily super common. So you give them knockoff for dark and ghost, and then just knocking off other Pokemon's items. Throw an X Scissor for grass type coverage, as well as dark type coverage. And also in this situation, because your speed is set low, go ahead and give them Gyro Ball to counter fairies and ice types. And then go ahead and, of course, Earthquake, which is going to be on pretty much every set I have except for one. So that's another thought. Trick Room, sort of bulky sweet. Now here's one that could be actually a little fun. So, he's not super bulky, but go ahead and use him as sort of a Stealth Rock setter. This is sort of like, I don't want to say a suicide lead, but I mean, this is essentially a lead type Pokemon. You give him Stealth Rock and Super Fang. Super Fang, because you're not investing too much in his attack, and more just trying to keep him alive so he can set and last as long as possible, give him Super Fang because you're guaranteed to do 50% damage. Throw in Knockoff to knock off the other Pokemon's items if they're especially important to them. And then, of course, Earthquake again for the stab. And hey, if you're lucky, maybe they'll Sandstorm and he'll get a double speed boost. So that's a lead setter, Stealth Rock setter, which actually I think he could be pretty decent at. And again, EV wise, you're setting full HP, full special defense investment. because you're not using Assault Vest, you're using leftovers. And then go ahead and I guess just give him just that last 4 into attack. I guess if you think he's bulky enough, you can actually give him Life Orb for once he sets the Stealth Rock and make Knock Off an Earthquake a little stronger. But I don't really think that you need that because Super Fang's going to do massive damage on the first turn, and then you'll just be able to go to work after that. And this could be a sort of a Sandstorm staller, I think. And even if not, it's just a regular staller. But you're going to want to invest fully into HP and special defense. And I made him timid just so if you do run into Sandstorm, he's now rocking 366 speed, which is nice. So, of course, give him leftovers, Toxic, Protect, Super Fang to wear down that wear down the opponent's HP, and then just give him a Rapid Spin to be able to clear sets. And again, if any of these sets, if you really need Rapid Spin, he can do that. And then so just substitute the moves out that you don't need for coverage if you got them covered pretty well. Because again, the great thing about Rapid Spin, it is an attack, so it won't ruin any of those Assault Vest sets I have. I'm actually a little curious to try this set because I think it could be the most annoying to fight. Because again, you're really investing in his bulk, and then with Super Fang, Super Fang and Toxic to me seems like a combination. I'd really expect you to see more because it pretty much just speeds up the stall process. So, I mean, that's it. That's about what I came up with for Sandslash. You know, if you guys want to try these out and let me know how they go, you know, feel free to tell me in the comments. If there's any other thoughts you have or sets you think would be good to run, throw them down in the comments. Sandslash is a Pokemon that I think he has potential. I think he could be a Pokemon that could benefit immensely from a Mega Evolution. I think with the right ability or the right readjusting of his stats, he could actually turn into a pretty good Pokemon because he's got a solid move pool and he's a very strong attacker. So there you have it. That is Sandslash 101. If you have any requests for any other Pokemon, let me know in the comments if there's any Pokemon you'd like to see me do. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time for more Pokemon 101.